Well, hello everybody and welcome back along to another episode of the Dairyman's Diary. My name is Frank, as always, and I hope you're doing very well. It's been a little while since we have got back to you with another update of our farming blog here, but hey, we're back, and I hope you do enjoy. So this is supposed to be the bulk of our second cut hay. Or a hay crop really, and it's just disappointing at best. It is not looking good. It's been so warm and so dry the last few weeks there that just when the grass needs a good bit of rain to kick it on, it just hasn't got it. You can see this particular field has a few weeds in here as well, which is less than ideal, but you know, at this point that's possibly not the worst thing at the moment. So we'll worry about that later. We'll probably try and get it sprayed off actually when we get going here. But yeah, at the moment there we do just find that it's very thin. There's not much bulk to it at all, but we've just got to get it knocked down. We're going to be raking up and baling some other ground later on today once we get this finished. But yeah, we just thought we'd get this down because it is very warm again, so our wilting time is pretty darn good actually. Right now at least, so that's good news, I guess. Perfect. Okay, but what I'll do is right now is I'm just going to stop around about here and I'll show you what I mean really by the quality. Okay, so they're going to slowly spin down. 6820 is working fine now, it's flying through here like I say, but as you see, as we walk into here, there's just not much height to it at all there. We're cutting it as low as we can. Very patchy in places as well. Usually we'd see this be nice and thick. The best comparison I can give you right now, so if you look over here on the side, this is the border really that we leave. We don't get too close to cut on that. This is from our first cut. We just leave that as it is because there's all sorts of just branches in there and stones and things that damage mowers really. Look how much taller and thicker that grass is there. Against over here, it's just night and day difference really. So we are just missing a lot of rain really. We're on a bit of a scramble to get as much grass as possible because we're just the second cut volume is not going to be there. That one back up. Fire the back one back up. In we go. So we've got 6 headlands around there now, so what we're probably going to do is just get cracking on with a bit of an odd shaped field here, but we'll get cracking on with the cuts now. Try and square this off a little bit and we'll get this knocked down after that. Well, after that we're going to go jump into, we're going to use the 4840 on the bit of raking today. Horrendously overpowered, I'll grant you, but we haven't got that for much longer, so we're going to use it for as long as we can. And yeah, so hopefully once we get all that done, we'll get some baling done today as well, which would be ideal. Down there you go, perfect. But you can see there's a lot of dockings in here, there's quite a few thistles in here as well. We will try and get this sprayed off after the fact there, I think. What we're going to do right now is just try and square off this little corner here. And see how we'll get on there. A little bit better. Again, and just take control of this little patch here as well. Excellent. Up comes the front mower there. So yeah, we've been busy since we last spoke. It has been a little bit of time actually. We've got a lot to get cracking on with. We worked over some of the ground that's going to be drilled. It's still in my mind a little bit too warm to drill at the moment. Some of the soils is bone dry, so we're waiting there. We have ground that has slurry on it now. We have ground that's ready to be drilled, like I say, for the winter barley. And then our spring barley has taken a pounding of late. It really has. Again, similar sort of thing to the grass. It is just there's just not going to be much straw to it. It's struggling on the straw front. I don't think it's going to be too far away from actually being ready. If one thing this heat is doing is really accelerating it on a little bit, so hopefully that's the case. We'll watch this space to find out. In the front, up come the back. Perfect. And then yeah, we'll get into that one, but yeah, that is another concern. The maze is coming along. Again, I could do with a little bit more of a drink in places, but everything's just struggling. I've even been looking recently into the possibility of irrigating some of the land. See if I can find a cheap old irrigation unit somewhere just to help us out, but we don't have any licensing for extracting water from the ground, which you do need to have in order to do it, so that is kind of immediately stopped that in its tracks, which is very frustrating. But we're going to see what we can do about that one, see if we can find something moving forward that can help us out. But yeah, everything just needs a good old drink. Cattle-wise, they're doing okay there. They're spending quite a bit of time indoors, actually, when it's just too hot during the day. Get some shade, get away from the flies outside as well. So they're kind of doing okay. We have, since we last spoke, we did pick up another, I want to think we've got another 14 since we last spoke there, down there in the new yard. So we're looking good there as well, which is fantastic. They're all settling in nicely. Silage wise, the first cut wasn't bad. Not too concerned there about the number of silage bales. Deeply concerned about the amount of hay we're going to get, because usually what we do for our second cut is bale up all the headlands, and then the rest of the land can just get will usually just get put into hay, but that's not an option that we have right now. And down there you go. I'm struggling with my spool valves a little bit at the moment. They've been a little bit slow to respond. Might have to have a look into that. Speaking of mechanical issues, the John Deere 7710. We're nearly back. It's nearly with us. Mechanic believes it's going to be around about another week and a bit. He's expecting delivery of the bearings that he needs very shortly. Now, whilst that is great news, it's also pretty sad because it does mean that the end is in sight for our trusty 4840. So we need to. That's why I'm putting it straight onto things like the rake, and hopefully the combination drill when we get that, if we get a little bit of moisture in the ground in the next few days, because yeah, we want to get cracking with that as much as possible. So yeah, hopefully we'll see that come back there. It's an expensive repair. Don't think it's not, but we'll, we've got to do these kind of things. I'm not disappointed by the amount of weeds in here, I must say. Yeah, we're just about finished anyway. What we'll probably do is when we get this all finished up, we're going to bring the rake down, and we'll get cracking. We'll take you along with the drone as well to get a little bit of footage from the on the rake. Okay, perfect. Wonderful stuff. So how you doing anyway? I hope you are all fantastic. Do let me know down below what you're working on, as always. What you're driving as well. Love to hear about that. And there we go again. And now we're just into these little cuts here. So what I think we'll do, we'll get this all finished up. It's going to be a bit of backwards and forwards, and then we'll head back on the road up to the top farm. Pick up the John Deere 4840, and we'll get back cracking with the rake. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the yard. I love having those fellow mowers. They're nice and easy to get everything tucked away there. It really is much easier. So not much has changed around here in the last few days. You'll see that the 4840 is on the cattle box. We did go for a road spin in it the other day. Now this 4840 is pretty rapid on the road. This has the power shift box in, which does give you about a 30k or 50k box there, incredibly. It's not bad on the road at all. It's not the most comfortable tractor you'll ever drive, but then it was built about 30 years ago, so that's probably understandable. It's certainly nice to get out and about and have that option, that's for sure. But yeah, we just thought we'd use it to see what it looks like. As you can see here, the cattle are doing quite well here. They've got plenty of grass to work on, incredibly, so they're just slowly trimming all that down and chewing away, having a great time. But they are coming inside quite a bit. During the heat of the day, they do come in and get a bit of shade, I've noticed recently. Milk production so far hasn't dropped too much, which is rather surprising. I would have thought it would, but obviously they do have water troughs everywhere, so they're looking pretty good there. 3890 is looking wonderful. It's been working very well recently. We don't put as much in the feed at the moment because they are managing outside, but should we need to, we'll have that option. And everything else is looking very good indeed. We are flying along, really. We did restack the other day. Spent a little bit of time restacking this yard because it was a few of these bales decided they want to fall over. So it's looking a little bit better now, and it's waiting for... We really need to fill this up, to be honest. At least I won't be satisfied until we at least fill up this bay. And we'll see maybe even a bit of this one as well. So it just shows how much we're down at the moment. And we'll kind of see what that looks like moving forward there. But it's a concern right now for sure. But what we're going to do, we're going to jump into the beautiful 4840. Bring it around the corner, put the rake on there. It's going to have a nice gentle day doing a bit of raking. What's not to like about that, really? And we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I think I've probably got this for another week, maybe. So we've got to make the most of it. But I keep it washed down, I keep it cleaned off as well after anything it's been doing there. And it just looks stunning. A beautiful tractor. Keep that door open for a moment there, as always. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so it's going to hop around the corner there. We got very, very close the other day. It was very worrying, actually, to having to dump milk, which was a bit of a concern. I had a blind spot in my contracts, my milk contracts, really, which it was completely my fault. But one contract ended, and then the other one wasn't due to start for like 3 days. So I was about an hour away from dumping an awful lot of milk. So very pleased I didn't have to do that. We were able to find a solution there, which is great. Perfect. You could say that is a little bit overpowered, but and I would tend to agree with you. But hey ho, we'll get cracking along with it anyway. So yeah, we got the milk contracts secured, and we got that all, the futures all figured out for those, so that's good. And now we're all set to go here. I know there are a lot of dairy farmers out there who unfortunately aren't in the same position as me, and they have had to drain a bit of milk, so I hope for those out there in that position, I hope that you are able to navigate around that. I'm gonna go this way. As you can see as well, the ground to our right here, we got the beacons on. This ground here was mowed 2 weeks ago, and we've even since then it's had slurry on it, and it's just not really growing that much at the moment. It's just there's no moisture in the ground, and the slurry is kind of burning off there a bit as well. It's drying, so any of the moisture in the slurry, any of the water is just being kind of evaporated, really. Okay, and off we go then. So yeah, a lot of ground that needs to really kick on here. This spring body here isn't going as quickly as others, but it's just starting to turn, so hopefully it won't be too far off. But yeah, big concern. I mean, hopefully with the spring body we can get a little bit more rain, but I wonder if any rain we get now might almost be a little bit too late. Just because, yeah, we do rely on straw. It's great that we've got the land down at the lower yard there and as well, because it's going to give us a little bit of extra, but straw is of the utmost importance to us now. We don't use as much in the summer months, which is great because the cattle are predominantly outside, as I mentioned there, but we do like to have a little bit down just so they've got something to come into on those wet days if they want. Because nobody really likes to spend time outside in the wet and miserable cold. Not even my cattle. Okay, so as we kind of rumble our way down towards the hay ground, we've got the moment. We're going to head down to the new extended ground. We've got down there. What's it going to be? There's a 20-acre field at next to the lower yard. Then there is 2 fields of about maybe 20 acres again between them. And the extended ground there, and then we've got this field here on our right. There's probably only about 8-9 acres to rake in there because the headlands have already been taken off, but we'll do that on the way back up. So yeah, I've got probably in the region of about 50-60 acres to rake up and bale. We've got the 2 fields that we just mowed down as well, so that'll be, well, if it dries like it is at the moment, we'll get into that one probably within inside the next 3 or 4 days. We're trying to throw it around a little bit. There's talk of thunderstorms coming in the latter end of the week, which would be great if it brings any rain with it, but want to obviously get the hay done prior to that, so we'll have to wait and see. But we'll continue anyway. Maybe it means that we have to throw the hay around a little bit more than I'd like to, just to kind of get it to dry out, but we'll see. And around the corner we go. Old combine's just sitting there waiting, really. That's all we can do with her. This is one of the fields on our left here, what we're going to come into. But we'll get onto that one once we finish it over here. I just want to get this all done in the new ground first, really. So yeah, this ground here on our left, ideally I wanted to get something off of, but that hasn't grown at all. So that's not going to happen. The field on our right is where you joined us, I think, in the last time we actually provided a simulation for the nation with a blog, and we were working that field over. That's ready to go, really. Just waiting for it to dry out. But we're going to go over the little river here first, and we'll get stuck into that ground there. And then come back and head on into there, I think. Okay, so at least there's some water there, but I haven't got any licensing to be able to extract that, so I'd love to be able to pump that out and just get it onto the fields there somehow, but yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Right then, so let's get this gate open. We'll get you on in here. 4840. Again, not much here, but this land was the land that when we took it over from back from the open cast there, really, it didn't have anything put onto it. It was just grassland, naturally growing, organic, really, for want of a better phrase. So we'll rake it up. We'll probably get some slurry onto there. It's a bit rough over in that far side, which is why we just did a little block here. But we'll take it. It's fodder, really, at this stage, and that's what we need. As much of it as we can get as well. Okay, so rear wheel steering on the rake, just getting us around that corner nice and easily. We'll get this all unfolded. Power it up. Okay. Probably going to keep the door open, actually, just get a little bit of air conditioning coming in. This little girl doesn't have it. So we'll just do that, really, but we'll take our time and we'll just get this all taken care of nice and neatly, I think. Our aim is to get the baler straight on into here this afternoon, although I do need to go and take the loader off of the 6630, but that's not a problem. And then, yeah, we'll get in, get this all baled up, and then that's another job off the list. Now, if I remember correctly, it does get awfully rough here, so we're going to bow out of that bit and not come anywhere near any of that. That just looks like a bit of a mess. When they reinstalled this land here, they didn't really do a very good job of leveling some of it out. They just kind of threw the topsoil back in, and I don't think they did any leveling at all. It's rough in places. Yeah, not much for the 4840 anyway, so we're going to just keep pushing along, get this all raked up here. It won't take us too long, like I say. The other blocks might take a little bit longer, but we'll get that done today. We should get it all raked and baled today without a problem, and then early tomorrow morning we'll probably bring it all back to the new lower yard there. We're not going to stack it yet, we're just going to let it stay outside and sweat for a little bit, and then we'll bring it in as soon as we can after that. And that is pretty much us, really, at the moment. That's kind of everything up to date, as I say there. I hope you have enjoyed. This has been a little bit of an update. We will be back with more updates next week, as per usual. Until next time, though, I have been Frank. I do hope you have enjoyed this latest Dairyman's Diary blog, and we will see you all in the next one. If you have, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Simulation for the Nation, who very kindly agrees to host everything. And we'll see you all later. Until then, have a great day, stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, and we'll see you later.